Hi, everybody. It is December of 2015, and we're here with the Blast Network. I'm Jennifer Glegerich, and I'm here today with fellow Blast Network co-hosts Sue Houston and Tracy Joe Hopkins. We want to thank all of you for joining us here live. The Blast Network was founded so that we could reach those of you who, like us, are living our lives on purpose and reaching out spiritually, emotionally, and even in your business endeavors to live your life in authentic and balanced ways. Who are we? Well, we're a team of specialized coaches. Each of us are experts in our respective fields: healing, meditation, health and wellness, love, tapping, transformation, technology, and business. We've come together because we have a burning desire to share our varied and unique and complementary skill sets with you, because we're all going to change the world. So today's topic is expecting miracles, led by me, and it is a miracle that we're on live today. We've had some technical difficulties. So here we go. If you have a question, just type it in or email us, and we'll be happy to answer it live on air or via email after the show. We'll have handouts, one handout that'll be there away. So here we go. So I want to welcome Sue, and Tracy's left. So Sue, hi Sue, how are you? You are just a trooper.
Doing great, thank you.
That's good. So you've had some big miracles happen. We took a break in November, and then I noticed that you've had some really big things happen. So I actually want to start with the show with you giving us your wins and tell us about the miracles that have happened just in the last 2 months for you. I know you have a book. I know you've been meeting famous people, and you've been out and about. I see all your pictures and everything. So I just want to find out about you a little bit.
Okay. I had one of my books that I wrote in 2006 and published in 2007 went on the bestseller list a couple of times this month. And I don't know that it's ever done that before, but I noticed it this time. So to me, that was really an awesome miracle, something that every author hopes for. I also have a really cool book that I'm working on right now with my 3 sons, so I'm really super excited about that. And just have had an amazing series of miracles transpiring in my life lately. So it's been really great.
Okay, well, that is awesome. Today's show, it's not going to be mostly about miracles that you would expect, like biblical miracles or things, coming out of the air and giving you $1 million and a genie. But the real miracles that actually occur every single day with real people, because they've learned to expect them. This goes right in line if y'all do law of attraction, or you just are doing a lot of self-help, those of you right now who might be doing that. And really it's about energy and the energy we put out into the universe. And if you do simple exercises every single day, you raise this energy. There are a lot of people who come from different backgrounds, but it's pretty much consistent. If you look, no matter what your religious affiliation, if you don't have a religious affiliation, if you're just spiritual, it's pretty much consistent. Somewhere and wherever your ideology happens, they talk about these concepts, and they have for thousands of years. And it's just about the fact that we are a lot more connected than people really understand, formally. And we're finding out more and more and more. The earth is really awakening. Right now, we're in a period of incredible transformation, global transformation. Light workers everywhere are starting to come alive to the force that we're all connected. And I know we've had some very terrifying things that have happened in this world. But even amidst all of this, we are so connected as humans, we are personally affected, whether it's Paris or San Bernardino or these other shootings or these things that are happening all over the world. I know Nigeria just had another bad incident. We feel it, and we're feeling it in our souls in this cosmic level. And so I know for some people, it's hard to talk about miracles when bad things occur. But there is a lot of good in the world. There are a lot of wonderful people in the world. There are a lot of amazing things that happen every single day, and they can happen on just basic levels. And so when Sue was talking about her book and different little things like that. Those miracles can happen because she's been through a journey where there have been times in her life, just like I have, just like Tracy Joe, who's jumped off the call, where it didn't seem like that would even happen. Maybe we battled illness and we thought, well, we won't be alive to see those wonderful things. Or we've had crushing losses in our life, or betrayals, our heart's been broken. And at the time that you're suffering, it's really hard to think about miracles. But if you can get yourself out of that, the one day at a time, or you'll love again, and or, all these little things, slowly but surely, your energy builds back up. Maybe it's just your best friend coming over with some wine, a lot of wine and chocolate, and lifting up your spirits. It's that energy. When it raises, it doesn't all seem so bad. Maybe it'll all be okay. So this show is going to not be a very long show. We're going to talk about the different things we can do to raise our energy. And I'll give you examples in my own life, and I know Sue might too, of when we've done this, how things have changed around in ways that we could never have expected. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is if you're overworked. Right now, I work I have my own consulting business, and I do independent contracting, and I have a team of other contractors, and we're working for a company that helps people go online and make money online. But it's grueling. Everyone who works there, 183 people, are all entrepreneurs. So we work ridiculous mad hours. And so I was describing a position to someone, and they said, I don't want to be part of the burnout culture. I want to have my energy transform things. I don't mind working hard, but I do mind working hard at things that aren't going to pan out. And I thought that was a fascinating way to put that, because even though you're working hard, if there's a goal, if you can raise your energy level throughout the day, not just it's drudgery, you go home, you're completely sapped, whatever, it makes things better. And this can come from within. It doesn't have to really be the job. It doesn't have to really be the boss. There are some times where just changing you can change your life. So one of the first exercises we're going to talk about, and I know Sue has talked about this too, and I know Tracy Becker, when she was here, has talked about it, and Tracy Joe, is the 90-second exercise. No. How many seconds is it? Now I just forgot. Sue, for when you go and you think of something amazing and you run around your house and talk about things. 90 seconds, right?
I have heard a specific time frame.
Okay. No specific time frame. I heard it was really short, because, of course, I'm always reading stuff that is business oriented, and business people are always like, I have no time. That's the first thing out of that. I have no time to do that. I can't possibly do that. So they, you have to do it in. So I think it's pretty much like 90 seconds or 2 whole minutes. It's not very long, but what you're supposed to do, and I take a lot longer to do this, is daydream. A lot of people will day-drama. That's what I call it. They sit there and think about what someone has told them that's really pissed them off, and then they will talk about what they were going to say back. And, oh, yeah, I was going to say that. And then, yeah, and he would say this. And then this is happening. And before you know it, their energy, they're furious, they're angry, they have tears in their eyes. They've relived this terrible moment with a coworker or a loved one or a kid or a shop clerk that annoyed them, to the fact that they are just in another place. They just freak themselves out. And then they go on to have a bad day. Other bad things happen. It's funny. It's this little domino effect that happens. So you can do the opposite, though. You can daydream yourself into having positive dominoes happen and to raise your energy level. So one of the things I like to do is I pretend I win an award. And it's usually the Oscar or a Grammy or something like that. Now, can I sing very well? I'm an okay singer, but it sounds much better in the shower. Have I ever acted? Was I even a thespian in school? No, but that still doesn't mean I cannot win this award, right? So I think about it. I think about how I'm going to dress. I think about all the questions I'm going to answer going up the red carpet. And, you know, depending on what my mood is, depends on what kind of movie I've been in that I've been nominated for. And I sit there and I go through the most ridiculous processes in daydreaming, and I'll walk around my house. I gesture with my hands. I will talk about it out loud until finally I've passed Joan Rivers, because she's always there, even though she's passed away. Love you, miss you, Joan. So I've talked to her, and I've went on stage, and I've accepted this award, and I feel like I'm completely accomplished and wonderful and beautiful and amazing, and it's great. And this is a little thing, and I've done this for years to pick me up. And bar none, when I do this more in my life, like if I'm having a downtime and I force myself to do these things, whatever it is, something good happens. And it's usually totally unrelated to becoming a mega, you know, superstar, winning an award. It's usually I get more compliments at work. Somehow I've figured out things that other people couldn't figure out, and clarity has come in tasks that I've done. And mostly I work in marketing and human resources and figuring out how to build businesses and crisis intervention. So it has nothing to do with what I was daydreaming about, but yet it affected it. It affected me. It's raised me up. It's allowed me to see more clarity. It's raised my energy level and made me more receptive to this vortex of goodness that comes from the source or God or nature, whatever you want to say that it is. I don't care to label it, but it is there. There is a really incredible, wondrous force that loves us and wants us to be happy and wants us to prosper. And so when you get in there, all of a sudden these little miracles happen. Projects you couldn't push forward. People who were consistently blocking you at every opportunity for whatever reason, all of a sudden they give you a little bit of a break. You start doing better in interviews. You start doing better in different things. And so I've just noticed this. So this is a very small thing that anyone on the planet can do. And it can be daydreaming about anything. The only rules are you don't spend too much time on it. You don't want to get stuck your life in daydreams. There has to be some actions that go with it. You have to go and then live your life. So the exercise itself needs to be small. It needs to be consistent. You need to consistently think of yourself as a winner, as a loved, successful, amazing person that people love and are attracted to, that has ease and security in your life. So you need to consistently think of yourself like that all the time, you know, every day. And then you have to allow yourself, because we've done many shows on allowing, and you can go back and talk about allowing, to be able to do that, because some people cannot put themselves in their space. And now I'm going to talk to Sue a little bit, because I know that she's worked with this, and she does tapping. Tapping is a wonderful, incredible resource for people that can't do it. They just can't seem to see themselves successful. They have a very hard time daydreaming, and then when they want to do it, they feel silly, or it's stupid, or there's an uncomfortableness with it because they don't feel that. So they need tapping. So now I'm going to go to Sue. So now you've heard me say all my little stuff. Have you ever had experience with this? Have you ever been able to tap someone through it? And this is really a question because I'm curious about this.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing for some people to do. And one of the things that I learned from Canfield is a mirror exercise, a mirror work. A lot of people do this. But basically, you have to go in front of a mirror and do these sorts of things. So you do some affirmations, or you appreciate yourself, or you thank the Academy for the award that you just received, whatever it might be. But you actually do that in front of the mirror, and it's really hard for people to do that, to appreciate themselves, because you really have to have self-respect and appreciate yourself first. I'm not sure, did I get dropped?
No, that's
okay.
you.
Okay.
I'm hoping this works, or I don't know if I just click from you. Okay, let's do this. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's really important that you have the self-respect and the comfort level with doing either the 90 seconds or whatever it might be of daydreaming, or doing the mirror work, because you need to appreciate yourself and accept yourself how you are, and a lot of people really have a hard time with that. So I think that's the first step. And also, when you're looking for miracles or wanting miracles to happen in your life, you have to notice them, because really miracles are happening all around us. They're happening all around us every day, probably every minute, and we just don't simply notice because we're too busy. But when you start to be grateful, we've done some shows on gratitude, and just being grateful for every little miracle you see around you, more and more of them show up. So hopefully
Yeah.
I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you did it. No, that is very good. I've noticed that I've done that with people, and they'll get teary-eyed when I try to push them, come on, you're happy, you're loved, you're an incredible person. And rather than taking that in and being like, yeah, I'm great, they start to tear up. And I think, oh, okay, so I know what the issue is. You need to love yourself a little bit more. But also, too, there are some people who have that, but they don't notice the miracles. They don't live in so much gratitude to where they are missing the small things, and they happen all the time. From getting in just a little bit extra money, or having a bill come in. Sometimes people will be doing this, nothing happened, there's no miracle, blah, 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 blah. And I'll think, well, wait a minute. Didn't you tell me that like your electricity bill came in and you thought it was going to be like $300, and it was a lot less because you've been making effort, but it was still a lot less than you actually thought it would be? Well, yeah. Well, didn't that help you out a little bit? Well, yeah. And then you're like, aha, see, it's the little things. And when you change your mindset from, oh, well, that's just a nice coincidence, to that's a miracle that I've created for myself. That either you can say, God has done this for me because I'm making so much positive work and I've put this energy out there, or the source, or I'm doing this. I'm creating my own reality with these little things. When you change your mindset and you start realizing that, hey, if I can be really positive, I can get a lot of really great stuff going. Maybe won't be a $30 discount or, on something, but I'm doing it. And then there's like, bing, this aha moment, and you start doing it more, and you start knowing there's a lot more ease. Things start to be easier than you thought they would be. You're able to have that little bit of extra energy to walk more at night, which is something you said you really wanted to do, just walk a little bit more, or a little bit more energy to clean, or you find that you're not so stressed with the kids, when they're doing stuff. And when you start looking at those as things to be grateful for, because somehow you're getting this unseen help that you're really manifesting, creating by your effort, then it changes your mind. And if you actually go and equate this to the fact that there is effort, it isn't just free. You're not just laying there on the couch, shoving Cheetos down your gullet as you're watching, reality TV. You're making it happen. So there is work involved. There are a lot of people who really feel they must suffer completely to get anything good in their life, that they have to just, in order to get in a miracle, they've got to be a saint and really a martyr. Unless the arrow pierces my flesh, then I'm not deserving. It really isn't like that. And that's another thing I think that you can do a lot of self-help work on. You can either tap through it, or you can talk to people. You can forgive yourself for that, but it doesn't have to be so hard. It really can be very simple. And it's putting yourself in a different mindset where you're grateful for the little things. You're more mindful of the little things. You take more effort to appreciate the little things. And then all the big things start falling into place. The road starts paving in front of you, making it more clear and more clarity and stuff like that. And it's daily. It's just daily, and it's with your personality. But you do have to work at it. You actually have to make the effort to do these things, but that's the work. Even if it doesn't seem like a lot of work to you because it's fun, it still doesn't mean you're not working. You can have fun and work too. You really can. At the same time. So that's one thing. And I know Tracy Joe, I wish she could get on, because there's a specific question I was going to ask her, but maybe we'll get to talk to her about it a little bit later. But I wanted to think about just one thing that just happened recently. I received very bad news from a contract that I'm working, and part of my income, which was a huge part of my income because I'm a single parent, was going towards a sort of advertising, let's say, traffic towards ads for different things for me. And the first month I got nothing. I'm supposed to get a minimum. So I said, something's going on, maybe it's rich. The second month it happened, I started really complaining. The third month it happened, fourth, fifth, sixth. By the sixth month, I had, renegotiated my little contract to recover something, but not the funds. And I was expecting a positive response. And I thought, well, I'll get a little bit something positive for Christmas. And then I received an email this week saying, you just have bad luck. So the $6,000 is gone because we just made some mistakes. So needless to say, I wanted to rage, scream, and freak and all this other stuff like that. And then I started the dramaing, the day dramaing. Before I knew it, I was crying and I was under a bridge selling pencils. And my kid was starving half to death in ragged clothes. And then when I got out of that and I realized what I was doing, because even though I talk about this all the time, it doesn't mean that I don't work at it as hard as anybody. Then all of a sudden, I got out of it. I started talking to other people. Another thing manifested with a tutoring thing. And I thought, okay, this is all going to be okay. And I ended up getting gifted basically a Christmas tree I'd wanted for 3 years that has lights on it that change colors whenever you want. You can sit there and just touch on your iPad and it changes the color on your lights and it plays music. So I went from being under the bridge to having this really nice Christmas tree in the space of like 8 days. And I'm thinking, wow, this stuff really works. And it's actually a miracle. And when I lifted up my stuff and I realized it's going to be okay, then all of a sudden, magically, literally magically, it just falls everything into place and everything's going to be fine. And I'm going to be abundant and fine and have a nice tree. And my kid will have a gift and we won't be, eating ramen noodle soup out of a dirty water pot. Whatever it was going to happen. And that just happened. So I know it works. I know it really does work. It really, really, really does work. Oh, and about my hat, it's Dickens on the Strand in Galveston today. And so everybody dresses up like they're in merry old England and walks around. They talk with accents. So this is my hat for the day. So I thought to be festive. Anyway, I need to mention that so people don't go, yeah, she's crazy. She's wearing that hat. Okay, so Sue, we're going to take a break. Not take a break, but I wanted to ask you a little bit. Okay, so as far as miracles go, what is your latest miracle? It doesn't happen if it's big. It can be really tiny. So talk to me about that. What do you know that you've manifested from your positive attitude and the way you've enactioned it?
Well, I'm, I guess, fortunate because I notice miracles, so I see them all the time. I guess the latest one that I really noticed is I had two great friends that I met up with yesterday who are just amazing people, and I'm just so blessed to have them in my life. And in my opinion, it's a miracle to have friends like that where you can go really deep in a conversation. You can talk about anything, and they'll understand. This is more of a spiritual level discussion, not, gossip or anything like that. So to me, that's a miracle to have people in your life that you can just completely express who you are and be respected and understood. So to me, that's a miracle in itself.
That is an awesome miracle. That's absolutely wonderful. I love that one. And I love the fact that you've tied it to people, because other people can help you and they come into your life. If you consistently do that, even when things are bad, you'll suddenly get someone back into your life to help you. And they might go, back and forth. And so that's really, really awesome. Or
right now with the way things are going in the media and some of the things that are going on in the world with violence, it's so easy to start mistrusting people, and feeling unsafe and threatened. And to me, my heart bleeds for those people who are victims in those situations, and for the things that are going on. But I really have chosen not to focus on those things. I don't watch the news coverage. I saw the highlight and I turned it off, and did my own little thing to kind of heal from that, and to help those in need. But I really avoid the negative media. I don't watch a lot of TV or at least news coverage, because I feel those things bring your vibration down. And it's harder to keep your vibration up when you're being dragged down, whether it's through television or other source of media, or certain people. There's people in your life that are always complaining or gossiping or negative, and it's often difficult to be around those type of people and keep your vibration up. So I limit my exposure to people that I know bring me down. So that's something that I found really helpful in keeping myself up, is avoiding those negative influences.
Absolutely. And some people go, but wait a minute, I get hopped up when I'm with them. And I see that in business too. I get so hopped up when I'm with this person, but it's negative hopped up, because it's the political discussions, it's fiery debate, it's this. And even though you feel your energy is high, like that physical energy of my heart's racing, I'm this. Well, just because your heart's racing doesn't mean that's a very good sign. The negative energy you get from people like that, if there's always controversy, if there's always that, run, then it's not good. I go back to that stupid Sex in the City episode with Samantha, and she goes, this is my test for a relationship. She's very, I don't know, crazy one. And she goes, are you like this? Or are you like this? It's so basic, right? That's the most basic thing on the planet, but it's really true. Like when you leave someone, are you still like furious, wanting to, yell at the president and write your congressman and do all this stuff? Or are you feeling positive and going, I can do something a little more helpful this week? Oh, maybe we'll donate some clothes to Goodwill, or there's this place with the Salvation Army up, or here I have some extra change. It's going to be tough because it's the holidays, but I'm going to give some extra change, and I'm going to think about the people who need that. Those are positive change enactors. Those feel good. You feel good. You're doing something. You're doing something active, and making a change. So yeah, I agree. And I'm really bad with that. That's my bad one, because I will go off on politics. I have very strong views on all of that. And so I am the first to want to get swept up in the media, in the TV, but I've noticed it a lot more. And I really think that it's the cause of so many problems. Like the internet can be so wonderful, but then part of the internet is really bad. It allows people who are unhappy to voice their unhappiness, and other bad people come to them and they use that. Well, Tina Fey wrote a book which was absolutely hilarious. And she talked about her daughter, wanting her daughter to be strong and wanting her to be okay. And she said, because it's not the beauty that draws the predator's eye, it's the damage. Mm-hmm. And that hit me, when you hear those things. It was a universal truth. And you think about it from children, bad teachers, all those stories like that. It's not the most popular hot kid or whatever. It's the one that's most damaged. And I think that's the same way on the internet. And those people draw predators. They draw these people, and only positivity and light. It's going to stop it. And being a voice of light. And Facebook does it. And I notice, this is something for everyone to notice. If you start clicking on a lot of political posts and negative posts, Facebook has a really incredible back-end thing. It gives you what you want. So I did not know this, and I read an article about it. And so I thought, I am not going to like those posts. I'm not going to respond and be drawn into these conversations. And I failed on several occasions in the last week, on that. But I'm going to make a concerted effort to try to not click and engage the posts that really upset me, the bigoted posts and all those things like that, that I just want to go, meow. And guess what? I started clicking on more ones that you've posted, or Tracy Becker, or Jack Canfield, or Sean Stevenson, who I just love. And, you know, these people, now my newsfeed is mostly positive because it's giving me what I want. Facebook is basically kind of like the universe as far as universal things. So FYI, if you notice that your feed has a lot of things that upset you, there's a way you can stop that. And it's don't like, don't comment, don't share, don't give any discourse on any of the negative stuff. Go and make extra effort to only click on the positive things, and you'll get more positive things back. That's direct cause and effect. And if you learn to do that on Facebook, you can do that in life too. It works the exact same way.
Great point.
Yeah. So that's one thing I've just recently found out. So what else for miracles? I'm trying to think. There's many miracles in my life that I wasn't even aware of, probably because people were praying for me left and right, which is good. You know, I think about the fact that I was giving a talk. I had written the book 2 years ago, and I was giving a talk at St. Vincent's House, which is an incredible organization here in Galveston, Texas, and it helps underprivileged youth, mostly from the criminal justice system, come in and they can get their high school diplomas. And so I went there expecting a certain crowd, and of course, when those things happen, I got completely blown away by how amazing it was, because the students ranged from 17 to 34, and there were a lot of students there that were homeless, and the teachers all volunteered their time. It's a room they've built up mostly with plywood. So there's plywood shelves, books on the plywood shelves. You know, it's in a very not great neighborhood, but they come there and they drive them really hard. But a lot of the kids were homeless because, and I did not even know this, they would come to Shriners, which we have a world-class Shriners here. So parents would bring them from all over the world, and then their parents couldn't afford to stay with them, so they left them there.
Oh, wow.
So we have kids that are there right now that have had, you know, some of them some severe burns, and they have no place to live. And so the teachers will say, okay, for the next 3 weeks, this family has said that you can stay with them for 3 weeks, but then after that, we're going to find another place. And they're moving like that just so they can get an education, just so they can move out. So when I showed up, I had this coat and I was all blah, blah, blah. And I was going to talk to them about how to do their resumes. I ended up talking to them about social media because some of them couldn't find a job. And then I wanted to look at their Facebook, and I said, well, there's a reason. You know, you're partying, you're doing all this other stuff. Nobody's going to hire you. What do you know? What do you know about this? What do you know about that? Blah, blah, blah. Silver spoon in my mouth. And I said, well, because I used to live in a homeless shelter. So I know I was homeless for quite some time, and I was pregnant and homeless. And a lot of people don't know that about me. And they like, shut up real quick. And it kind of changed their perspective a little bit. And they said, well, how'd you get out of it? And I said, well, I never lived there. Well, what do you mean you never lived there? Well, I was there, but I wasn't there in my mind. And this is something I've had my whole life. There's absolutely no reason I should be successful. There's absolutely no reason as a single parent I should have ever been able to afford a house. There's no reason I should have went to college. There's no reason for any of that, other than I just have always been a little bit more positive than other people. And I've worked hard. You have to work hard. It's not that I don't work hard. You know, right now I'm working like 12, 14-hour days. It's been killing me. I've worked Christmas. I worked Thanksgiving. I worked on Easter Sunday. You know, those are things that sometimes you have to do because it's been a bad economy. But if you take it as it's all going to be okay because this is life, and sometimes pain is just pain, you just get through it because it's teaching you something else, then it just changes your perspective on things. And I can tell you some really great miracles. My family, at the time that this was happening, they were not doing well. I had 2 people in my close family that were in recovery. They couldn't handle taking care of me extra. I wasn't on drugs. I never got into fights in school. In fact, I was a straight A student. There was no reason I should have been homeless. I just had really bad luck, which is one thing I hate. And, to be told that, because sometimes you're a kid, you don't deserve the bad luck. But I could have went to a downward spiral about what I deserved and what I didn't deserve. And instead, I realized, well, now I have an opportunity that I can change it. I don't have to live in a place where I'm being abused and screamed at all the time.
Right, and sometimes it's not a matter of bad luck. It's
Right.
a lesson that you had to learn. So you had to overcome that in order to gain certain skills that you can now use in other areas of your life. And had you not had that experience, you may have turned out differently. So in
Yes.
many ways, everything that we encounter in our life is a blessing, even if it's really in disguise.
Yes. Yes. And I try to explain this, and they're like, but you were a kid. You were this. You were that. Yeah. But guess what? I backpacked across the country. I met amazing people. I have had more other homeless people who were probably hookers and drug addicts and stuff like that show me amazing kindness. And I've had other people I'm related to not. It gave me a unique perspective about humanity, and it gave me a unique perspective of what I'm capable of. And you would be amazed at how much you're capable of, and it's all going to be okay. I've had everything stolen from me twice in my life. Once, a person that I felt sorry for, me and a roommate, we brought into our apartment, felt really bad for him. I was living in Florida. I was cleaning an attorney's house in exchange for free rent on a garage apartment, like a maid, and every now and then I'd cook a little something, and then I worked another full-time job. I was trying to get this person hired, met them at the homeless shelter, and now I was doing good. I was trying to give a little bit back, and we came home from work on a Friday, and there was nothing left. We're talking no ice trays, the things I put my contacts in, all my makeup, every bit of clothes, it was scrubbed clean. What happened? Our neighbor came over. They go, oh, we're so glad to see you. Congratulations on your new home. I said, what are you talking about, our new home? We got a new home? And then, of course, I started getting excited. Oh, I've been so good in helping people. I'm going to get a new house. And I was like, something. No, the guy had convinced all of our neighbors we were moving, and our neighbors helped him move us out. They found the rental, and it was completely empty, and it was abandoned. And who knows what happened with my things.
Mm.
So the only thing I had left was he had left. The person who was in the apartment before was a bartender, and they had all these bottles, different cool bottles, and some of them had liquids still in them. So I had alcohol and I had the clothes on my back, and my roommate and I, we were the same size. When you're young, you're the same. So she had her outfit, I had my outfit, and that's all we had. Our neighbors felt so horrible, and so did the police. They took up a little collection. It wasn't much, but it got us a pot. We had one pot we bought and a little bit of food. And of course, the rent, I had already been working for the rent, so that was okay. And then slowly but surely, we built back up again. And you know what? It worked out okay. I didn't need any of that stuff. What I needed is the help from others, and to know that I was a good person enough that other people came together and they helped me when I tried to help other people, and it's all going to work out. And so if you don't freak out, I mean, I'm not telling you I didn't get my drunk on that night, because I did. I drained every single one of those bottles, and I made a drink, and who knows what that drink was, but me and my friend, we got blotto. So I did do that. I did cry. I did feel sorry for myself, but then I got out of it. Because you can't live like that in sorrow and depression and being unhappy. It's just not a good place whatsoever. And you have to just find a way to get out of it. And I know that this is a difficult subject for people who suffer with depression, because you guys, you've got it extra. You can't just get out of it. There is a real clinical reason that you're like that. But I do know that there's good medications. I do know that there's good therapies. I do know that there's incredible therapists that can help you. There's lights. In fact, I've got this light on right now. That's why I look so pale. And I keep it on because it's a sunlight light, and it makes it, I get more energy and I can work a little bit longer because this is my little desk area. So there are little things that you can do. And it doesn't matter if you can do it quickly or not. Everybody does things in their own time. So some people, it takes a lot longer to get out of things. And that's fine too. The miracle It's just you keep on breathing. You can still be happy. You can still smile at people. You can get smiles back from people. There's a lot of really great things that can happen like that. So I know it can happen. So I told my little story there, and it was amazing. I saw a change in the group. Instead of anger and hostility, and you don't know what we've been through, and you don't understand, all of a sudden we were all the same. We were the same people, because we're all the same peeps. And then I got to find out about their stories, and I got to see how I could help them like that. And I've got to tell you, that was a miracle.
Because you know what? If you wouldn't have had that experience and wouldn't have been able to share that with them, they wouldn't have connected with you, and they would have thought, oh, it's a spoiled girl with a silver spoon. She doesn't know what we're going through or how hard it is for us or whatever it might be. But because you had that experience, you were able to impact that whole group of people.
Yeah. And some of them still didn't like me. Yeah, I mean, it was. I think one of them, they were mad at me because they didn't like what I said about Facebook. I said it's a different world. Lawyers are going to look at your Facebook. They're going to judge you. You're going to be judged. You'll be judged harshly. So it's a new world now. You don't have the private life that you used to 20 years ago. But you just have to deal with that. Life changes. It's a new change. It's a new world. Just deal with it. And so I think that there were a couple people who took it to heart and probably did change it, and I'm hoping they found jobs and it was able to help them, because working is important. You want everybody, even if it's just working at pretending that you're an Oscar winner because you raise your energy or whatever. Oh, hey, there's Tracy. She's back on the call. Did you see that?
I did.
It's a miracle!
I'm here. I made it.
That's awesome. So we were talking about miracles. Did you hear any of the rest of the show?
No, my laptop kept shutting down. This darn power cord is giving me
That's okay. But you know what the miracle is? You're here and you're back on time. I wasn't even going to do a whole hour-long show, so I'm glad that you were back. I was about to wrap it up. So, okay, no, I wanted to talk to you. I hope you can stay on, because what we were talking about are exercises that we use. I use mine where I walk around pretending I'm an Academy Award winner to raise my energy, to get my energy level up, and how I've noticed small miracles happen because of that. Things just go easier because my energy's up and I've affected the world around me. So I was going to ask you, because I know you have lots of little tools that you use for this, including the journal we went over. So you did. I wanted to ask you, my question for you, and I'll put it on you, is how have you noticed miracles from the journal that you've used? Like, what has happened or changed with you, like a thing that you've had a hard time with, that taking that positive effort, even though it's small, has paid off? So I want to hear from you for that.
Well, I know for me, big time, when I actually taught this course, I actually taught one of the journals, which I'm actually creating. Funny enough, we're saying about the journals, I'm creating that journal that I created, the 45-day. I'm actually turning it in at a Udemy course, and it's going to be out soon. So what I have noticed other students from that are bigger from mine are the little miracles. It's actually being more positive, that I'm not thinking money is the bad thing. I'm opening the bills up without saying not opening the bills up and just saying I've got bills, that kind of thing. I'm making little tools now for visualization. Like I wear a tag at work, and on my tag I have a charm, and I've been giving them out with $1 million in it, because the concept is you always feel like you have the $1 million. You have that feeling that you have $1 million. Your brain doesn't know that it's not real, or your subconscious rather. So it's always out there looking to find me money. I know one lady, when I was doing a meetup, I had everybody go through this process and do the process, and she, within 30 days, ended up refining. She was going to lose her home. A home that she's had in the family since she was little, like her parents' home, and because of this divorce with her husband and everything, she was going to have to sell it, that kind of thing. But it turned out that You know, you want to say things happened, but she concentrated. She did the little thing, and she ended up, the bank called her to refinance it for cheaper payments, and she got to keep the house.
Yeah.
Not only that, she got more money back, so she can pay off anything else, because she was at that point where she had to almost retire, and her son's living with her with a kid and a daughter, and so like almost now she can afford life now. And I was like, whoa, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I know it works. I know, because I actually make the same journaling thing for self-confidence. I also make one for body. So it really, really helps with self-confidence, that kind of thing. So
Well,
journaling, all it is just getting into the habit of changing your mindset.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, what did she tell you this story because she was following your journal, or it was just the same type of concept?
It was my journal. I have actually done a meetup group. It's called Always Learning in Western New York. I haven't done one in a while. But she would always go to my classes because I was usually teach things that I just learned, whether it's Ho'oponopono or this journaling or some sort of, you know, little things. I like to teach that because when you teach it, you can end up learning more.
Right.
That's just a concept that I learned. So if I want to learn something more, I teach it. And she just took it and ran with it. And not only that, she took, I had given them gifts of, I make these CDs with like calming sounds or something like that. She plays it every morning at night. Subliminally, not really, but you can really hear my voice. I do affirmations, like money affirmations. So I'll do that on time. So she plays that as well. And it just so happened, like after 30 days, I knew she was going through issues. I knew she thought she was going to lose the house. So I really wanted her to have something, and I said, just try it. You never know unless you try it. And she tried it, and she's like, came back like after 2 more, you know, sessions at meetup, and she goes, guess what? My house is mine. I've got a new car. I paid off some of my son's bills. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh my God!
She's my proof.
Oh my God!
Yes, that's proof. So.
No kidding, but you look at that. So here was something that Tracy. Here, hold on. So here's something that Tracy Joe did. This is what I love. So she did it for her. She started out doing it for her because she had things that she really wanted to work on. And then she thought, you know, maybe I'll share this and then I'll learn a little bit more. And she starts a meetup, which anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. And not only is she improving her life, but then she makes this major global impact with someone struggling. And like, that is a miracle. That's one of those miracle lifetime TV stories, y'all. I mean, that is awesome. I want to give it up for that. I love that. I'm totally into that. Okay, I'm trying to.
Also, there's another thing, a little miracle kind of when happened, and it involves Sue. I'm not quite sure because I've been talking to Sue. I went through this Dale Carnegie class. It ended the beginning of November. From that class, you know, it's a really good class to help you with public speaking. It really helps you with, you know, more confidence with yourself, that kind of thing. And with it, on week 3, we had to teach the class something. I happened to teach the class 2 minutes on how to do tapping. And from that PowerPoint, because I had asked at that point if I could borrow her just to show people what the real tapping is. Actually, I did that time actually I just mentioned Sue. I said send it for, you know, go to Sue's site, that kind of thing, for more information, because I did a little modified version of it, a really quick version if you're like right in the moment. And so from that I actually wrote a book that's right now on Amazon, which I have Sue in there. And Sue was wonderful enough to let me borrow one of her scripts. So it's actually in the book right now. And I had 3 buyers already.
Right.
Hey, give it up.
That's little miracles right there. So it was awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, man, that's great miracles. I just feel like I hear Christmas bells now. Ding, 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 ding. That is so
I'm
great.
really grateful to Sue because she gave me a little miracle there too as well. So.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping up. That was a great last story. So now, okay, and you can find out more about Tracy Joe's workbooks that she does, how she can help you to turn things around. And Tracy Joe, give them that information.
Well, right now, for I'm going to be writing the course for Udemy right now. Udemy.com. The course is not up yet, posted, but it's going to be up shortly. But if you have any questions or anything, you can email me at tracyjoe@theblastnetwork.com, and I will put some more information up on the Blast. I haven't updated that in a while, anyways. And then the book as well is on Amazon.com. But if you look for the author T.J. Hopkins, Tracy Joe, I have the exact titles all messed up. Forgot for some reason because now I'm on the spot.
That's okay.
But it's how to use EFT when you're in a quick or you don't have enough time is what it is, by T.J. Hopkins. So it's a little ebook, 15 pages, but it goes through and takes you through, how I came by it and a little bit about EFT, and also one of Sue's scripts in there about anxieties in there as well. So I think everybody can enjoy that. So
Okay.
yeah, Joe at theblastnetwork.com.
Yay! Okay. So now I'm going to move it to you, Susan. Tell us what your newest thing, because you always have new great things, and how people can reach you.
Yes, absolutely. My email is info@tapintobalance.com, and for the next month or so, a couple of my kids will be off from school for their winter break, and we are writing a new book, so that'll be out next year.
Woo! Okay, that's really exciting. That's completely and totally exciting. Okay, well, and I'm Jennifer Glegerich for the Blast Network. You can always email me at jennifer@theblastnetwork.com. I'm currently still writing my book, Muse Emergency Response Guide. It's a crisis intervention book for small and medium-sized businesses. So you can always write me, and I do hire lots of telecommute professionals. And I am looking for, I'm just going to tell you, a has-offers developer. If you have has-offers development experience, a NetSuite CRM developer who understands NetSuite and CRM migration and that coding. I need WordPress design experts. And I also need a variety of accounting people who have zero experience, accounting software experience, from costing to collections to accounting, Excel and spreadsheets with zero. I would say mid to senior, but those positions are in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So if you want to find out anything more about that, or just to see do I have anything, if you're a great marketer, internet marketer, if you know email deliverability, I'm always looking for people like that. So go ahead and just write me, Jennifer@theblastnetwork.com, and maybe I can hook you up with the job. So that could be your miracle. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I hope you all have a fabulous holiday season, and I hope you start noticing all the little miracles that are happening around you guys. So thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.